What's up, van fam? We are here in Venice Beach, California, and we've noticed on a lot of van forums, people are always comparing the Winnebago Revel with the Storyteller Overland. Lucky for us, we bumped into our friend Sean, who is a Revel owner, so today we're going to do a head-to-head comparison of the Storyteller Overland and the Winnebago Revel. Let's get to it.
Hi, my name is Sean, and I have been traveling my whole life. And I finally made a decision to get a full-time adventure vehicle. So this is my Winnebago Revel.
What's up, I'm Chad.
And I'm Paul.
And this is our dog Orlando, and we live full-time in our Storyteller Overland mode. Now this is the classic version. You can also get the stealth mode or the beast mode version. But before we get into it, if you want to see more questionable van life content, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. Alright, let's start in the cab area. Now, the Winnebago Revel and the Storyteller Overland are both built on the same chassis, the Mercedes Sprinter 144 wheelbase, which means that they both fit perfectly in a standard parking spot, which is awesome. They both also are 4x4s. There are some slight differences in the cab area. So we have these power seats, which is really nice when you're driving. But they do get a little inconvenient when the seats are turned around because you have to reach back and they're a little slow moving. In terms of the video camera system, we have the 360 degree cameras, which is awesome when you're parking into tight spots. You can really see a lot, so it's been a lifesaver. I will also say that the drive of the Storyteller Overland is really quiet, and that's because it's so well insulated. There's Havelock wool stuffed into every single nook and cranny, and also the cabinets are all fabric lined. So the only thing that's really gonna rattle or make noise in this vehicle are the things that you put inside it. One upgrade that we made to the cab that Sean also made is the Showtime curtain from Canyon Adventure Vans, which are really cool. They slide on a track, so they're very easy to deploy, very discreet. And the best thing about them is you can hang out with both seats turned around and still have some privacy. All right, now let's go head over to the Winnebago Revel and check out Sean's cab.
So the front cab is, I think it's pretty stock for a Sprinter van. It does have the seats that turn around, the captain's chairs, which is really nice. So one of the things I was not anticipating when getting a Revel was the shake, the rattles, and the noises. It really is kind of a noisy drive. I've tried my best to try to dampen those kinds of things. One way to get rid of the rattle sounds is to upgrade the sound system. I've heard that's a good way to fix that issue. Play the music loud and you won't hear all the rattles. When you get a Revel, you're going to want to make some upgrades. One of the first things I did was get my windows tinted. It made a huge difference on how hot this vehicle can get. Also, it gives you a lot of privacy. Second thing, and I think this is one of the best upgrades you can make to the Revel, is from Canyon Adventure Vans, is this privacy curtain. I can turn these seats around and have privacy really quickly. These magnet together, I turn these seats around and it really extends how much usable space I have with the Revel.
All right, so now we are in the lounge area of the Storyteller, and the reason why they call it the Storyteller mode is because it's modular. It's very flexible, and you can change it into a lot of different living modes. And that's really exemplified by this Groove Lounge, which is really cool. So this is the mode that we usually leave it in during the day. So here you have a nice double seat where you can sit and do work. We've upgraded the Lagoon table to the Canyon Adventure Vans driver's side Lagoon table, and we'll show you why that comes in handy in a second. But this is a really nice place to do work. And then you have a nice love seat back here with a nice pillow you can rest and hang out. So you can fit a lot of people just in this area. Now, let's do some transforming. So this pops up, you put this on top. It comes with 2 seat belts that are DOT rated, so you can actually put car seats in here. Then this goes down, and you can actually transform this into a twin bed, which is where Paul sleeps at night. So this is where this Lagoon table comes in handy, because I can move this out of the way and deploy the Groove Lounge without having to take the table up. So here we have a nice bed. Fits a full-size adult very comfortably. But you can also turn it into a chaise lounge by lifting up this if the view is nicer out front, or lifting up this side if the view is nicer in the rear. So you really have a lot of options with this Groove Lounge, which is so cool. Moving on to the windows here, they're really nice and big, and I like the awning style windows. Everything is really well tinted, so you get a lot of privacy, and opening up both of these awning style windows really lets a lot of airflow in. The tweed style walls are really durable and just add a nice touch of, I don't know, coziness, and it just feels like a nice cozy home with these up. All right, so now let's talk about power. And we feel like we have unlimited power. And that's because we have our dear Volta system. So this comes with 12,000 watt-hours of power, which is huge. I mean, we never have to think about power. And coupling that with the 3600 watt inverter, we can run the air conditioner, the microwave, the induction cooktop, have some computers plugged in all at the same time without even thinking about it. We also have a really big second alternator, so all it takes to go from 0% to that full 12,000 watt hours is an hour to an hour and a half of driving. Here we have our water system monitor, and this is really cool because it operates on percentages. So our old van, our Winnebago Travada, worked in thirds, and the problem is you didn't know whether you were closer to full or 2/3 with your water tank or your gray tank. And here it takes out the guessing game, so I know I'm exactly at 89% of my capacity for my fresh tank, which is really cool. Speaking of capacity, we have 21 gallons of fresh water, 24 gallons of gray water, and we have I think it's a 2.5 gallon cassette toilet. And here we can control our furnace, our hot water. The diesel furnace is super efficient. It really just sips fuel. And our hot water is instant hot water. It gets very hot, so no complaints on that end of things. And then here we have the control for both the heat and the air conditioner. With our Volta system, we've actually been able to get 2 full nights of AC use just without having to charge the battery, which is great. Again, that depends on the conditions, but we feel like we have more than enough power supply for our needs. So for those of you who follow us, you know that we primarily boondock. We never plug in or stay at campsites. We're either stealth boondocking in cities or up in the mountains somewhere, and the Volta system is really designed so that we can boondock with it. We can stay out off grid for extended periods of time without having any issues, so we're really happy with that. So when it comes to storage in the lounge area, we have this up here. Again, fabric lined, composite wood so it doesn't swell, and really sturdy buttons, push buttons. We also installed this headliner shelf, so it doesn't come stock, but we put this in so we have a little extra storage up here. This is where we have our Showtime curtain attached, and then here we have a curtain rod so we can dry any towels or whatever that we need. There's also a max air fan up here that sucks in and blows out. And then over here, we added a roll-left bug screen. So we weren't happy with the stock screen that we came with, so we added this roll-left, which we love. We think it's the best in the industry. And what's really cool about this roll-left is that both sides obviously come with the bug screen and the magnetic opening, so you can open and close it pretty easily. But they also have blackout and insulating shades that you can zip down on both sides, so it insulates the van and it gives you some privacy. And speaking of insulation, again, it's so well insulated that it really retains heat or cold very well. When it comes to coverings for the windows, obviously we use this roll-left partition and also our Showtime curtain for the front, but the van stock comes with covers for all of the windows, and I'll show you how neat they are. So they provide a lot of insulation and they go up with magnets, so you just basically throw them up and they snap right in. You can put a reflective side out if it's sunny, or if you want to be a little bit more stealth, you can put the darker side out and just pop them right up. All right, let's go see what's going on over at Sean's lounge in his Revel.
So this is where I spend most of my time in the Revel. This is where I'll be eating. This is where I'll be working my laptop. More space would be nice. I wish this table was able to rotate because I feel like this table gets in the way a lot of the time. Sometimes you just want to sit in here and not have to have this thing in front of you. So if you could just rotate 90 degrees to kind of get out of the way, I feel like that would be nice. Some of the things I really like about the Revel are these pop-out windows. I really like to be able to kind of put my arm out and let all the air in. There's one on each side. It really kind of brings the outside space inside. The Revel does have some small storage spaces back here. Down here where the feet go, you also have some storage down here. I wish there was more cabinet space, but there's really not much room to add more cabinet space. So on the Revel, this is where you control a lot of your features. I think the Revel has 330 watts of solar on the roof. It has a 3,000 watt hour battery. It holds 21 gallons of fresh water, 21 gallons of gray water, and 5 gallons of black water. And this has been saying my gray tank has been full for months. And it's not. I don't feel like I have enough battery power. If I use my stove, just cooking breakfast could drain 20% of my power. Couple that with running my laptop for 6 hours, I could be down to 50% of my battery by the end of the day. So if you are using a lot of electricity, you won't get 2 days without having to recharge. So I think on your vehicle you have 3 or 4 times more battery capacity. So that's something that would be really nice. When you're driving a lot, it's great. When you're boondocking, you just really have to be smart about how you use your electricity. I do carry some extra batteries, 400 watt batteries. I do carry an extra solar panel. It would be difficult to spend a long time boondocking with this vehicle. I think 3 days and you're going to be empty on your battery. To be honest, I don't really love the solar panels on the roof. I would rather have access to the roof. I would rather have storage on the roof. I think carrying a portable solar panel would probably be a better idea than having dedicated solar on the roof. It also doesn't charge very fast because it's only pointing up, and you really want a solar panel that points directly at the sun. So seeing you guys be able to stand on your Storyteller and actually store stuff up there makes me a little envious. There's a lot of things about the Revel that I wish Winnebago had done a better job on. There's no insulation between any of the panels, which in the wintertime is extremely cold inside.
So now on to the Galley, the home of many failed meals. So our fridge is here. We have an isotherm fridge, which is really high quality. We really like it a lot. Here we have touch style button lights, really nice as well. We have a sink, nothing too special about that. A microwave that is small but mighty. We have a portable Bluetooth speaker here if we want to head to the beach and take this out. It puts out a lot of sound, actually, surprisingly enough. Here we have storage for the Galley, same composite wood. Really nice cabinets, dovetail design. We have our induction cooktop here that we can use on the cooktop here, the tabletop here, or fold out the table outside and use it there. But a lot of really nice storage here, a really deep storage, so you can fit a lot of stuff. We also have a hot water circulator if you want to get hot water a little faster, and then a sink drain pump just in case it gets stuck. You can push this and it'll drain the water.
So one of the upgrades to the 2021 Revel is the new fridge. The fridge used to be over here. I heard it was really difficult to get in and out of the fridge from here. They also removed the fixed induction cooktop and made it portable. That's really nice because then you have more counter space and you can take it outside to do your cooking as well. They also upgraded this faucet, which is higher. You can get more things under it. But the Winnebago Revel does not come with a microwave. Not a big deal for me, but I could see how that would be really nice to have for some other people. So I got some storage up here where I'll put some pots and pans, and this is a good spot for a trash can. Keep my utensils in here. One of the nice things about the Winnebago Revel 2 is the blind system. So that is going to be blackout, and then if you put it down, you get the bug screen.
So let's talk about the shower and the bathroom, which you may be looking around wondering where the heck they are. So our shower is up here and our toilet is down there. So what I'm going to do is lift up this side of the Groove Lounge, and you can see this, which is the flex space, which acts as our shower tub. You can also use it as a wet locker and store wet stuff in there. But here we have a lot of storage, and this is our cassette toilet. It's a 2.5 gallon cassette toilet. If you had asked us 2 years ago if we could live in a van without a fixed toilet with a black tank, we'd say no way. But after a year of being on the road, we realized that the way that we roll is we're either usually in an urban area where we can use public bathrooms and public facilities, or if we're boondocking in the woods, we'll usually dig cat holes and that kind of thing, and really only use a cassette toilet in an emergency. Now, you do have a 2.5 gallon cassette toilet, which some people find is a little bit more manageable to dump in a standard flush toilet than a 5 gallon cassette, which can be a little bit heavy. But again, for us, it works perfectly for the way that we roll. Up here is the shower, like I said, really cool design. So this is called their Halo shower system. So you basically just unscrew this lower cabinet and then deploy the shower curtain, which is made of a ripstop material, so it dries really quickly, especially when you turn on the fan. And it's actually quite spacious inside. We find that it's a much more comfortable shower than the shower we had in our old Winnebago Travato. Again, really great water pressure, instant hot water, so it really is a nice shower. There's also a rear outdoor shower in the back as well. Again, for us, this setup works perfectly, and knowing that we shower, only a couple minutes every day, if you're lucky, it's definitely not us. We probably should shower more. But I would much rather have this usable open space than feel like the whole front area is cramped with a bathroom that you aren't really using that much anyways. And especially having to deal with a black tank, a big black tank that you need to dump, it's a little inconvenient. So we're really happy with the setup. It works for us living in it full time.
Part you've all been waiting for, the Revel bathroom. Here she is. I will say, being short in life has really paid off, because if I was any taller, there was no way I would be able to fit in here. So what I hear, if you're tall, is you have to sit down in this toilet to shower. I do not have that problem. I'm able to stand right here. I installed a little mirror here so I can shave with. There's also this little cubby so that you can put some of your shampoos and shaver. Where the toilet paper would go is waterproof so that you don't get that wet when you're showering. There's also a fan built in so that you can air out the humidity. And you put a shower curtain here, and then you close it, and you have some privacy. One of the things I like about the toilet too is it actually rotates. So you can sit in here and close the door. Having a dedicated shower, having a dedicated toilet was the reason I got the Winnebago Revel. So the Winnebago has a 5 gallon cassette toilet, which you can dump anywhere where you're allowed to dump. I actually made a little extension onto my cassette so I could stand a little bit further away from where I'm dumping. Comes in handy when you're dumping in a toilet. You're dumping in a toilet, you might get a little bit of splashback. But dumping in a dump facility is probably your best bet. My gray tank is 21 gallons. I use less than 5 gallons a day. So I can usually go about 4 days until I have to dump my gray tank or refill my freshwater tank. And I'd say it's about the same with my cassette toilet as well. I say probably about every 4 days I need to dump my cassette toilet.
All right, so now we are in the garage slash bedroom area. So the garage area is kind of a build your own adventure type of setup. There are a bunch of out tracks on the ground and a really nice durable material covering all of the walls. What we opted to do was go to Canyon Adventure Vans. I just realized I'm wearing their shirt. I swear they didn't pay us to do this. But we went to Canyon Adventure Vans and got what's called their GSS, which is this whole storage system right here. So there's storage on this side, there are sliders, there are three cub packs down here that we store long-term goods in, and then we store our shoes and actually both of our one wheels under here as well. So this is a really nice setup that goes underneath the bed. This side also folds up if you want. The coolest thing back here is the CSS from Canyon Adventure Vans, which gives you some chairs that you can sit on. Now you can put this up over here, you can put this back here, and we Velcro it back here, so it's a nice backrest. But the coolest thing is we have two chairs here, so we can actually both sit and eat a meal together back here. I can be working back here while Paul's working up there in the Groove Lounge. So it really gives you a lot of options and a lot more usable, functional living space. So let's talk about the bed now. So I'm going to put this cushion back on, lower the CSS, and putting down the bed is really quite easy. So it's a double Murphy bed, but we keep this side up, again, so I can use the table, use it as a stand-up desk if I want, but this flips down. I keep all of my bedding stuffed back there, and then you flip this around over here. Now I will say that the stock bed is pretty firm, which I don't mind, but a lot of people with Storytellers wind up getting a thicker mattress pad of memory foam just to make it a little bit more comfortable. But there's a good amount of space here. So I fit just fine. I'm 5'10". There's more space on the rear because that's where the flare space is the widest. But you can fit two people up here comfortably. I'm still trying to convince Paul to sleep up here with me, but he prefers to stay in the Groove Lounge. When it comes to storage, you have two full cabinets on each side. Again, all fabric lined, and this is where we store all of our clothes. There's also a window here, which is a sliding window, and I really like that because when you're sleeping in here and we want to be stealth, it's very discreet. If we had an awning style window back here, it would be really obvious that someone is sleeping in here. So I like the sliding window for the bed. And this is our Coleman Mach NDQ high efficiency air conditioner. Really efficient, and because of the excellent insulation, it really does a good job keeping the van cool. It's also very quiet. And there are push lights all around, and also the overhead lights are on a dimmer so you can really set the mood at night. So this is how we opted to set up the back, but some people will put both sides of the Murphy bed up and store all of their bikes and gear in here. Some people will opt for a larger size cassette toilet or like a wrap-on green toilet that they keep back here. Other people will just keep the bed down full time so they don't have to bring it up and down. So this whole back area, it's so flexible, you can make it suit your needs. One thing I forgot to mention is the location of the freshwater tank, which is over here inside the vehicle, and then the Volta battery system and electronic system over here, again inside the vehicle, which is nice because it's a true four-season coach. It's really well insulated, and you really don't have to winterize it unless you're going down to really, really cold temperatures and you're letting it sit. But as long as you're comfortable in the van is good to go.
For those of you who might be wondering, yes, Orlando can jump from the ground to the Groove Lounge, all the way up there and all around the van.
All right, good boy.
So this is where you'll be able to put your bed up and down. Having the ability to adjust it up and down is nice. I will say, after seeing yours and just pushing it to the side and opening up this area, this would be really nice to be able to actually stand and have a functioning area back here. That's where I think the GLLS system from Canyon Adventure Vans would be desirable, because sitting would be feasible. Standing, not so much. Okay, so we're now in the bed area of the vehicle. The mattress that the Winnebago Revel came with was very uncomfortable. I upgraded to the Canyon Adventure van semi-firm mattress. I love it. This is probably my favorite area of the van, to be honest. I just have a lot of room because the rest of the van is pretty cramped. In terms of storage, I'm pretty happy with what I have. Having access to roof storage would be really nice. Unfortunately, the Revel has those solar panels on that I don't really use that often. But I do feel like I have a lot of room for storage. I also really like how spacious this bed is. You could fit 2 people on it with the flares and the bump outs. I think it can accommodate up to a 6'4" person. There is an air conditioner as well. However, I very rarely use it. The one time I did use it, I'm so glad I had it. That's definitely worth upgrading because that is an option on the Winnebago Revel. So now we are in the gear garage, and this is where I store most of my stuff. It's not too crowded now, but normally it comes right up to where the bed comes down. The Revel does have O-rings that come out here. I actually remove them because I never strap anything down. Usually everything is so tightly packed in here that I don't need to strap anything down. So here is where the inverter and batteries are kept. There's 2 125 amp hours. I think it comes out to 3,000 watt hours of power. There's also a heated battery film over the batteries to keep them warm in the winter time. So on the 2021 Revel, the water is now on the inside, which makes it better for 4 seasons. This is your water panel where you can have an external shower that comes out of here. You're also going to fill your water from here. That's something new on the 2021 Revel, which I kind of wish wasn't the case, that you have to have your doors open in order to fill up your tank. So if you wanted to just go to a campsite and have the water hooked directly to your vehicle, you used to be able to have it on the outside. Now you have to do it from the inside. It also has some nice storage up here where I keep some blankets. There's ram tracks all throughout the vehicle. You'll see them here and here, and I do use those for holding up iPads and phones and things like that.
So now let's move on to the outside of the van, and apologies for the wind. It's pretty windy down here by the beach. Now there are a lot of different mods you can do to the outside of the van. Like Sean did, you can get a lighting package, you can do all kinds of rear storage options, bumpers, all of that good stuff. We don't have any of that yet, but if you want it, it's easy to upgrade, or you can just go with the Beast mode, which has all of those goodies that you might want. So everything here is pretty much stock, except we got the Van Compass 4.3 suspension upgrade, which we highly recommend. So all of the Storytellers come with an aluminous ladder, which is very sturdy, and it gets you up to the roof. We have a 30 amp plug-in right here, which again, we boondock, so we don't ever use it, but it's there if you need it. And back here, you can see the city water connection and the fresh water connection are both on the outside. Now you also have a siphon on the inside in the garage that you can use if you want to fill up your freshwater tank from jerry cans, or if you want to sanitize that way as well. So I'm sitting on my front runner roof racks right now, which is a really great place to chill. There's also a lot of storage options you can get for up here. Now the Storyteller does come with 2 small solar panels, but really they're mostly cosmetic. With that Volta power system, you really have no need for solar.
So I've made a lot of upgrades to the outside of my van. I added this Owl van tire carrier with a ladder. I really love this system. It also freed up space underneath where my spare tire used to be carried, where I'll now be carrying a 21-gallon water tank. Another upgrade I made is this bumper. This is a backwoods bumper, and I really love it because it gives a nice look to it. It also has these lights on the side that you can turn on when you're backing up in, say, a boondocking situation where there's not a lot of lights. There used to be a ladder here, and I got rid of that, and I installed a permanent side ladder and a permanent rear ladder. ladder that the Winnebago Revel came with really wasn't very good. It scratched my vehicle the 2 times that I ever used it. I never felt safe on it, and it was kind of just an eyesore hanging off the back the whole time. So I freed up this space. A lot of people add owl van carriers and stuff like that. I don't think I'm going to do that, but once you get rid of this ladder, it opens up more possibility for storage on the back of this vehicle. Here's my dedicated side ladder. I absolutely love it. I went with a Tanner rack. There's lots of different options for side ladders. This allows me to get up to the vehicle, clean off my solar panels, have access to different ports. I think down the line, I might actually get rid of the solar panels to create more storage for myself on the roof. I noticed you guys had that, and I'm very envious. This is where the cassette toilet comes out. It's actually a pretty cool system. You just pull this out. It has wheels, a handle comes out, and you can wheel it anywhere you want to dump it. That thing is full. Okay, one of my favorite upgrades to the vehicle are my 285s. These 30-inch tires, upgraded Black Rhino wheels. Makes a huge difference when you're going off-road. I upgraded to the Falcon 4.3 suspension system, which is adjustable. I absolutely love it. Here I have some little side lights that really help point off to the side, so when I'm boondocking I can see what's on the side of me. I went with the Van Compass hidden winch system. It allows for a very clean look. These are the Baja LP9s. When you're boondocking and you're out in the middle of nowhere, there's no lights, these things will light up the night. So the Winnebago Revel comes stock with the exhaust right here. It lowers your vertical clearance. It's also an eyesore, and I had that redirected to the back, which gives me more vertical clearance, and then you don't have to see that ugly exhaust on the side of the vehicle.
Now we're going to do a little segment called I'll show you mine if you show me yours, and we're going to go into each other's coaches and see what we think.
All right. This is actually my first time actually in a Revel. I've seen them before, but this is my first time in it. And I gotta say, it feels really cozy. You know, like things that are like set, like this nice cushion here, like this is very soft.
By cozy, you mean cramped.
Well, it's not exactly what I meant, but that's part of being cozy for sure. I like the shelf. Ours didn't include a shelf, so we had to add that. And when we added it, like I really love that we added it, so I really like that. The front's the same-ish, except you guys don't have the power seats, which I would have preferred in our Storyteller, because the power seats are a little bit slow, and if you want to swivel the seat around, it takes a long time. You gotta keep having to adjust it because the back will hit this. So this is much easier to spin around. You also mentioned before you have satellite radio. That I'm jealous of. That really kind of annoyed me about the Storyteller, that didn't come with satellite radio. So the other thing that I thought was really nice was that it comes with Roll-F, which is our absolute favorite screens. We had that when we had our Winnebago, which was the last van we had. And we actually got those into our new van because we missed them so much. So like the Roll-F a lot. I like some of the mods you did, like all the iPads and the intranet, but you did that yourself. The power, can we talk about the power for a second?
Let's do it.
Okay, so it sounds like your power works for you, which is cool. But for us, we really like the Volta in ours. It's just like huge, so much power, being able to run the AC all day, keep the dog in there safely. So we're really happy with our Volta system. And also, you don't have a microwave, which would be really hard for us because we love our microwave. We microwave most of our meals, even though we have this like a induction cooktop just like you. It's just easier for us. I would miss that, honestly, not having that microwave. All right, let's talk about the bathroom. This is the big one, and yeah, this is big. This is nice.
Do you fit inside it?
Oh yeah, I should just fit.
Yeah.
If you took the bar
I
out,
can move that bar.
Yeah, if you took
so
this
you're
out,
lucky.
I'd fit, and I'm 5'8", so no problem here. There's plenty of room. It would be nice to have a fixed toilet, absolutely, and to have like a fixed shower that you can just kind of jump in here, do your thing. This would definitely be nice.
I'll give you another reason why the fixed bathroom is so nice. Say you have a wetsuit.
Yeah.
You can hang it up in there. Say you have a snowboard with a bunch of snow on it. You have muddy boots. You want to rinse off your muddy boots.
That's
I
true.
do use this for some storage as well. This actually comes with 3 shelves. You can see where the shelves should be. I don't use it with the shelves, but a lot of people do use it with the shelves. And it is nice to store some wet stuff in there, wet towels and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like you guys, after you shower, you got a wet towel. I mean, what do you do with it?
We hang it across our shelf bar. Yeah. No, and you know we can put stuff in our little basin at the bottom of our shower.
Oh, that's
but then
true.
it'll just sit in a pile. You're hanging it up, so yeah.
So yeah, when I get out of the shower, I use that bar to hang my towel, to hang my robe.
Turn on the fan.
Yeah, I turn on the fan. It kind of airs it out, dries it a little bit quicker. Yes, I think the key difference between the two vehicles is this.
Yeah.
And there's 2 kinds of people in this world, those who need this and those who don't need this. I am 100% someone who does need it. I wish I could be more like you guys and not need it as much. You guys are going to the gym more. You can shower and use a toilet there.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. I think for us, we thought we needed it when we first got our Travado. So that one had a fixed bathroom and toilet. But as we used it, we realized we really didn't. Yeah. So we use public bathrooms. We still use a shower in our Storyteller, but we'll also use a shower at the gym, and that works for us. And ours does come with a cassette toilet, so we can always use that in an emergency. And for us, because we don't feel like we have to use it as much, we like having nothing here, so it's more open. Okay, so let's talk about the bedroom here. So the bed's now up. I think that's pretty cool, the Eurolift bed. I agree with you though. It's nice to be able to move ours out of the way because I'll hit my head if I come through. You're right, you can't really stand in here.
Yeah.
So it almost makes it like you can't use it.
It's unusable unless you get the GLS system.
Right.
And then because you're sitting, it makes it enjoyable. But for standing, no.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, when you're standing in the van, you're never standing back there. Your usable space for standing starts here and it ends about here. Whereas you can go anywhere. I never would stand back there.
Yeah, you can't. And the other thing is that I always get worried, I don't know, but I always get worried when there's additional electronic motors that could break. I don't know how reliable these beds are, but the less of that stuff maybe is better, because then it's one less thing that could go wrong. You know what I mean?
Definitely. They certainly do break. There is a manual crank that you can use to put it up and down, but you're right.
Yeah. But man, I mean, you get plenty of storage back here. This is an empty slate, just like ours, to do with whatever you want. That's why you were saying something like the GLSS, which is like that dual bench seats in kind of adventure vans. That's why so many, I think, Revel owners get it.
Wow. Yes. The spaciousness.
So I'm sitting where your bathroom is right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm standing in a part of my van that I would never be able to stand in. So you have 40% more usable area, in my opinion, just because the bed goes up to the sides. So I think having the bed go to the side is so much better than having the bed go up.
What's cool about back here that we did at Canyon Adventure Vans is, so this flips up. So this is like a work desk, and you can actually move this back here as like a back cushion. And then this is called the CSS. So you can actually, if you want to try sitting down there, and this is his GSS, so this is storage, and you can actually put your feet over here on a little foot bar, so you can actually sit and do work there, which is nice.
Yeah, this is so nice.
This was a game changer for us, especially eating together. We can sit side by side and eat there. It was really cool.
Well, just having this much space to be able to work. I mean, I'm limited to this small table, and by the time I put my laptop, and if I actually wanted to have some food next to me, that's not happening.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a yogurt or something like that. But you can have an actual meal here. And for 2 people, there's no way 2 people could have a comfortable meal in the Revel.
And I mean, one of the other things we love about the Storyteller, of course, nothing against the Revel, but the components, like the build quality of like the dovetail construction of the cabinets and even the buttons, everything is very, very solid.
Oh yeah, this feels. Oh, and the nice soft
clothes, yeah.
Yeah, this feels like something you would have in your house.
Yeah.
Whereas mine feels like it's something you would have in your van. Yeah, that's really nice. And I actually really like the wood floor that you guys have. And I like the kind of the soft walls and stuff like this. Like mine is, there's a lot of plastic going on in the Revel. I don't really see that much plastic in here at all. I see actual materials, which I can imagine this thing is significantly quieter than my Revel is, especially when driving.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about, so all the cabinets are fabric lined. Well, that's a shower, but they're all fabric lined. And actually,
I get a lot of rattle.
If you go back here, this is one of the things that they showed us is it's so sturdy, the construction, it's all like really integrated, so you can't, like, you're not going to get any breakage or any rattling or anything like that on the cabinets.
So as a Revel owner, looking at this, I would say I'm really jealous of the amount of open space you have. I'm not jealous that you don't have a dedicated shower and toilet, but I mean, that should only be a couple minutes of your day. But for me, I think the thing I like the most is this. I mean, having this much space. I mean, this is like a work desk. You can actually get work done here. Do I want to be working inside my van all the time? No, that's not why I got my van. I do have a table that I can take outside, but let's be honest, where are you really going to be working most of your time? You're lucky if you can be working outside your van. You're really going to be working inside your van. And having this much space, for me, I would probably want to get a Storyteller because this is what I need. I always feel like I feel like I'm less productive in the Revel because I don't have the space that I want. I feel so cramped behind that little chair, and this just feels like so wide open here. So from someone who needs to be productive, I think this is much better than what I have. One reason that I really like this seat is that it's lower to the ground. Mine's much higher up. Also, there's more space between you and the table. My table, like, it comes right up to here. So you feel very cramped when you're in it. I really like this seating area. It feels much more spacious. Getting in and out is kind of a piece of cake because it's lower. Whereas mine, because it's higher up, you kind of got to like step onto this thing first and then kind of like work your way in. And because this thing is so close to you, it's kind of this squeeze to get in and out. But here it's just very accessible. So I really do like this workstation a lot more. As a Revel owner, it's kind of hard for me to say this, especially after putting $30,000 of upgrades into my Revel. But I think I want a Storyteller. I'm serious. I mean, this is so nice to just be hanging out like this. The only place I can do this is in my bed. And I don't get this nice angle like this, so I'm just laying down flat. But when I'm laying down in the back, I'm kind of enclosed. There's only one little tiny window. In here, I could be working or doing something, and I have, nice light coming in. I can see outside.
The neat thing about it too is if your view is better in the front, you can put this side down and that side up and do the same thing but be facing out the front of the van.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the view?
Well, if I wasn't already jealous, now I'm extremely jealous. Because this is a vantage point I've never had access to on my vehicle. And it's really nice up here. I mean, this is kind of why you would want to get a van, is to be able to have this experience where you have this beautiful 360-degree view. You're up on top of everything. Plus, if you wanted to store things up here, I'm a little jealous, I will say. This is really nice.
If you like this video, make sure to gently tap that like button, and if you really didn't like it, hit that thumbs down button twice so we know just how much you hated it. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for more questionable van life content. Drop some comments below as well. Let us know what you think about the Storyteller Overland and the Winnebago Revel. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what vehicle you're in. The most important thing is that you're getting out, exploring, and experiencing all this country has to offer. Until next week.